Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday evening, and it's Monday, which means you know what it is. It is the Euro Dive, and here to break down all the shenanigans that have been going on in the Club World Cup. And I do call shenanigans, as well as a lot of excuses that I've seen from some teams that shouldn't be doing what they're doing. And here to break it down with me is German Dave. Canadian Dave said he will be joining, so we will be getting a cameo from Canadian Dave. German Dave, how are you?
Yeah, I'm surprised how quick you ended the intro. I thought you just let it. Yeah.
No, I just like to keep people on their toes.
Yeah. I'm good, man. I watched the F1 movie
It's already out for you guys? For us, it's like Thursday.
today.
Oh,
Yeah.
must be nice living in Europe.
Yeah, man. No, today was the European premiere. I believe there was also the premiere in London, the official one, where you had Sir Lewis Hamilton and a couple of the actors and important people out there. And yeah, I watched it here in IMAX.
Was it a good movie, or was it more so a like a F120 something campaign?
Uh, it's both. Look, like from the filming point of view, it is an amazing movie to watch.
Okay.
Like the close-ups of the car, the technical stuff, the all the offices, the wind tunnel, and they have lots of because they shot a lot of it in the actual Mercedes Formula One team factory. Like
Mhm.
you see like it makes it feel a bit more real because it's shot like at the actual factory. So if you know that it is that, it feels a bit more real to you, which makes the experience better. How the movie is shot, the perspectives from when the cars are driving, crashes, and all of that is amazing. But if you are a racing purist, it's again, of course, some like unrealistic racing stuff with how many front wings, for example, some specific teams have, and handy and all of that. Or two cars overtaking one car at Abu Dhabi into the same corner, which never happens because Abu Dhabi is a shit track.
Spoilers.
Um,
Spoilers.
yeah. No, there's of course like some of that, but overall, like the movie is great. Like it is something to get people into F1. I'm honest about that. Like it's of course like not the documentary style like Drive to Survive, but it is like
Oh,
on the
it's
same level
Brad
of
Pitt.
entertainment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have Brad Pitt. You're not looking
Yeah.
for documentary
Yeah. No, but
capability.
I think it's an actual good movie to get people into F1 because they talk a bit about aero, about dirty air, and all of that. Like you can actually learn a bit about Formula One at that movie.
There you go.
But yeah, you won't learn any actual racecraft stuff because that is, of course, like what you will see there on
That's
track will be like pure fantasy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they would give you all the pizzazz there, but look, hey, if anyone's not doing anything this weekend in the U.S., go watch it. It's a
Yep.
good movie.
Oh, and something that urged me a bit because in a couple of scenes you've seen the cars from last season,
Okay.
and in a couple of the other like on track scenes you see the cars from 2 years ago, and they try to blend it in so you don't realize it. But since I'm an F1 nerd, I realized the differences, of course, in the cars. But like the average Joe that will watch the movie and because he wants the
Just call
spectacle.
them bots. He's like the
Yeah,
bots won't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but normal people won't realize. For example, I went with my brother, my dad, a cousin, another cousin, and another friend. Like we were 6 people, I believe. And one of them is not an F1 fan whatsoever. My dad claims he's an F1 fan, but he didn't notice it. And yeah, us like 4 to 5 guys that are F1 freaks like immediately realized, oh my god, they are mixing up the cars from 2 seasons. But yeah, other people don't realize it. In the end, like the Ferrari is red, like whenever you're watching. But yeah, man, it's a nice movie to watch. Still, I think it is a nice um like thriller build, action build, some love story that shouldn't be there in my opinion, but whatever. Like I guess they are trying to implement stuff to make people connect to the movie, but overall it was okay, man.
Nice. No, kind of jealous you got to see it, but hey, you got to see it. All right.
It,
So,
it is a fun watch. It's not a trash movie. It's fun to watch, but of course, like it's not actual racing.
no, for sure. It's again Brad Pitt. All right. So, my
Oh my
friend.
god, that he's such a trash actor. God damn.
Well, yeah, he plays the same character like it all over.
God damn, dude, Brad Pitt is bad. And I watched it. I watched it in English, in like the original language. And dude, I swear, you can barely understand the word he's saying.
Southern English. All right, German Dave, what match you want to cover? Which one do you want to kick this off with?
I think let's go through a bit of the Club World Cup again. I don't know. Was there something surprising for you besides
Botafogo? Besides the Botafogo match?
the Chelsea result where Chelsea lost to Flamengo? That
I
was for
la-
me the biggest surprise yet.
Really? You don't think Botafogo beating PSG 1-0 is?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that one as well. Yeah, it's those two. Yeah, you're right. It's those two. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ironically, Atletico Madrid somehow beat Botafogo earlier today, and PSG beats the Seattle Sounders. I think for me, the biggest shocker was that Porto got beat by Messi and Friends FC.
Yeah.
That one shocked me a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed in it more so. Because like how when we saw Inter Miami play against Al Ali, they looked trash.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me that Porto could not? And to be honest with you, I think the Portuguese teams are absolutely disappointing in my opinion. But like you mean to tell me that Porto could not beat an MLS team? And this is where I get a little bit disappointed from the European teams and the little bit where the prestige is there. Oh, it's too hot. Oh, we just played 50 games. Oh, we did this. Oh, we did that. Guys, shut the fuck up. Brazilian
Yep.
teams play 70 games a season. Like that is absolutely pure bonkers. That I mean, I'm listening to like Atletico players, PSG players complain about the heat. Chelsea players can. I mean, like for example, if anything out of the Premier League that I've learned is that Chelsea fans have an excuse for practically everything.
Dude, it's so sad. Like the length they are going yeah to make this seem not as bad as it was because they were dog walked in the second half.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, Flamengo
Dog walked them.
destroyed them.
But I mean, even the big thing is like the fact that Porto was not able to do anything against Inter Miami besides get a
Yeah,
set piece penalty
that
is
that was sad. That was
that
sad.
was pathetic. And
Yeah,
again, like for example, Messi and Friends 0.95 expected goals, Porto with the 1.69. And this is what frustrates me here is that big chances, literally two. Like the entire game, Porto had two big chances on target.
yeah.
That is nuts. And the penalty counts as one. You mean to tell me that you
Didn't
couldn't
create anything.
anything against Messi and Friends where Al Ali literally could have peppered them for 4-5?
Yeah,
It is absolutely insane to me. And again, it's just like Messi scores a free kick with I think either the goalkeeper was sleeping. Everybody and their dog knows where Messi's going to put the ball in that free
yeah,
kick situation, and yet you were still late to it.
yeah.
So, and again, it's just kind of like what Pekka is saying here about Gyökeres. Like, do we even? I don't personally, if as a Juventino, I don't want Gyökeres at Juve, but they just Porto disappointed me there. You don't lose that game.
No, Porto absolutely disappointed in that game. But that being said, I'm not willing to dunk on them as much because in the end it was yeah, like every or lots of teams so far had an off performance, right? that may have been their off performance. The Portuguese league is not the greatest, but
No.
the top level is very deep. Like the 3-4 teams they have there on the top are fighting like consistently. But that's about it. And I think they still have a good enough team that should have beaten Inter Miami. Let's see how they do, because Inter plays Palmeiras in the next game, and Palmeiras hands down is the favorite. And
Yeah.
dude, credit to all the Brazilian teams so far. God damn.
Yeah,
They
you know, and the thing is like, for example, and then we can kind of roll into this next match, right? Botafogo versus PSG. Botafogo like terrorballed the shit out of them,
yeah,
and
that's
again
the
they
only
put
that's the only way.
like they suffered, they took in pressure, and then essentially, I believe it was a cross by for Igor Jesus to get the it was on a counterattack. Igor
Yep,
Jesus
I
put the
think
ball in the net,
it was a cross, and from that a header, I believe.
and that's what their
Somewhere
bread and butter
outside
is.
box, I believe. A 6-yard
That
box.
Yeah, and that's what their bread and butter is. This tournament is getting goals off headers. They have the size and they have the
Yeah,
strength, and they again locked it down, forced PSG wide again. They were physically bigger than the PSG
yeah,
players, and it showed that they were.
yeah,
PSG couldn't sauce dribble them, and that's kind of
yeah,
what it is. And ironically, you look at the European teams and you compare them with the South American teams and the other and MLS teams, size wise, European players are small, man,
yeah.
on the European teams. But that's nuts. Again, let's kind of go a little bit more in depth here with Flamengo here and Chelsea. Uh, Chelsea again, like I nothing. I hate saying this, but nothing puts a smile on my face more than a Premier League team embarrassingly getting clapped.
Yeah.
Like that to me is just pure comedy. That
Chelsea at that game was such a two-faced team. First
Mhm.
half, they dominated possession,
Yes,
and they were ahead, I believe, right? They were 1-0
1-0.
ahead, and then lost in the end 3-1. And then they sub on Nicolas Jackson in the second half. And dude, that guy is like so close, like to the DUC that Darwin Núñez sometimes is doing on the pitch.
And Juve are linked to him, mind you.
Dude, we are linked to every shit striker out there, so yeah.
Fantastic.
No, but like he's not shit, but like he has those bozo moments.
Doosan tendencies,
Like,
we call them.
yeah, like I mean, goddamn, like, and he cost the team. He came onto the pitch
He
and
did.
like received the red card like 4 minutes after being subbed on. Like he completely killed the game. And once you are a man down against one of those Brazilian teams that has the stamina, that are used to the weather, you are lost. And that's what they did. Like he cost the team, and yes, like also Chelsea had no concept, of course, but yeah, what are you supposed to do when you're a man down versus Flamengo, which knows how to play in that weather, that build up that stamina, that
They
constantly
would just keep
play
coming
in
at you.
those conditions, and they just like you said, like kept going after them.
And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, kudos to it. I got to make fun of Chelsea fans for the entire weekend. I enjoyed every moment of it
nice.
because no, it was funny because like again, I was listening out of all the teams that were chirping were Chelsea fans. Like they're like Serie A is trash. Look at them
Yeah,
tie with Monterrey. And I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, you guys, the only reason why you guys even made this tournament, because you guys, Liverpool got shafted just because you guys won the fucking Champions League 4 or 5 years ago because of Tuchel.
yeah,
Like, come on, man. Chelsea, you haven't been relevant since then. So it's like, for me, it's like, I'm listening to them. Oh, Serie A is ass. We've got a Champions League that we won against Man City that, Tuchel terrorballed Guardiola. Again, that's the only reason why they're there. And it was just that they were the loudest chirping. And this to me was beautiful because I have not seen a Chelsea fan in the last 3 days. And I
yeah.
am all here for it.
And they were embarrassed, dude. The content they made, the videos they made, they were embarrassed because of that result. because everybody was going into the tournament, or all the Chelsea fans, taking this tournament seriously.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, after the game, oh, we don't know if the club is taking it seriously. We don't know if
Oh,
Malaska
shut
took
up.
it seriously. Oh, we were experimenting with the lineup. Oh, so
Yeah.
all of a sudden, yeah, that's how you change.
Well, I loved it because
Like,
Flamengo's social media team was trolling them the whole weekend.
oh, deservedly so.
Oh, it was beautiful. It
Yeah.
was absolutely beautiful.
What do we
Well,
think about Atletico going out in third place?
well,
Like,
they shouldn't have got spanked by, but they shouldn't have got spanked by PSG.
dude, those it was 4-1,
4-0.
4-0. Oh, 4-0.
Yeah, they
Damn,
shouldn't have got
the game
spanked
got
by
goal.
PSG. I
Dude,
mean,
if
but
they hadn't,
in
dude,
my opinion,
there are
Botafogo
a
deserved it.
-2 goal difference on Botafogo, so that game
Mm,
killed them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Botafogo deserved it. They beat PSG.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Simple as
what
that.
gets you. Yeah,
I kind of
that's
want to give a shout out to Auckland City, because their goalkeeper that first half probably stopped 12 or 13 shots. 20-year-old kid. He was insane.
yeah.
I know, don't get me wrong, I get the result 6-0. I know you're chuckling over there, but like I watched the first half of that
No, it's
game.
all good. I know, I know.
That
I
kid
watched
was
the Bayern
nuts.
game. I believe they had a different goalkeeper in that one, and him as well. Like he had a couple of saves, but obviously cost them a couple of goals. But yeah,
Yeah. They had well, I mean, like the Bayern goalkeeper after that, and he got swapped out for this new kid that took it. Um, Esperance and LAFC. LAFC has just been woeful this whole tournament, so there's not really anything I want to cover there either. Dortmund versus Mamelodi Sundays.
let me just go to this comments. It's not like specific fan base. All the Premier League is looking down on Syria. It's not
Oh
only
yeah,
Chelsea fans or Liverpool fans, dude. Arsenal fans, like since they got Calafiori, dude. What trash level is Serie A on? We got that player and thought we would get one of the best center backs, and he turns out to be trash. And dude, every team that receives an Italian player that they paid way too much for, all of a sudden Serie A is trash. Um, it is what it is, man. Like, just let them let them talk and get destroyed by PSG.
yeah. And then Mamelodi Sundowns. That was a fun match to watch. 3-4 with Borussia Dortmund. They scored. They
Yeah,
opened up. Then Dortmund scored, and then Dortmund went up, and then Dortmund went up 2. And then Sundowns got a consolation goal at the 90th, but they created more chances than Dortmund, which is ironic. They had expected goals at
yeah,
2.74, Dortmund
yeah,
1.72. Um,
yeah,
it's entertaining, right? And that's kind of what
yeah.
the main focus of this tournament is again showcase for players and just
And
for it to be
and
fun and
and watch
entertaining.
and watch matches that we would have never
Ever
expected to
seen?
see.
Yeah,
Dude, it's so fun. You don't realize how fun it is to watch Bayern versus Boca Juniors. You
especially
usually
and it was
wouldn't see
competitive,
something like that.
and it was
Yes.
competitive.
Yeah.
Because we can
Oh,
roll on to that too, right?
yeah.
Kane scores in the 18th, then Boca ties it up at the 66th, and then Bayern's able to take it in the 84th minute.
Yeah. Or Inter versus Monterrey, like those Mexican teams are also like awesome to watch. River
Aggressive.
Plate, like as like Argentinian and Brazilian teams, like the fan base they bring with them, the energy they have on the pitch, like it's so awesome to watch. Like we would have never guessed to get those matches, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk
Even
about.
Real Madrid, I know everybody is talking about the Saudi Pro League and how they dislike that and how the league got built and everything. But how fun was the Real Madrid versus Al Hilal match?
Yeah, they what is it? They got Xabi Alonso'd in a sense,
Yeah,
because that's kind of what Al Hilal did.
it's fun,
But
man.
and then again, even with like for example with Inter versus Urawa Red Diamonds, the team from the J
Yep.
League, Watanabe opens it up, Lautaro gets something in the 78th, and then Cabroni wins it for them at the death.
Yeah,
Like, it's interesting because like these, yeah, some of these teams are employing terror ball, but again, that's what the quality that they have. Some of them have to do that. It is what it is. Um, these are again some pretty decent matchups.
yeah.
And then that's round 2, and then River Plate Monterrey, that was a 0-0. Not really much came out of that one. Both teams were kind of just River Plate with a red card at the end, but River Plate played a little bit more aggressive. Monterrey played a little bit more defensive. I didn't find anything there. Fluminense and Ulsan, I didn't really care much to watch that one. Real Madrid versus Pachuca. I didn't expect much. I was expecting Real Madrid to kind of have a get back from
That
that
was
one.
interesting to watch, though. I believe they went down 1-0, right? If I remember correctly.
They went down a guy in the 7th minute, Asensio, Dini Boy's
Oh,
partner.
dude, I told you that defensive back line
Is
and
trash.
and Asensio sometimes has those like bad moments. Didn't I predict in the
Trent
last
was good.
Eurodive? Didn't I predict in the last Eurodive that Asensio and Huijsen will be a very bad back line? And Asensio last season already like cost them so many like red cards going down and not being able to get those matches back, which was why they lost the title to Barcelona in the end. Because Mbappe was scoring like goals for fun, like after a couple of months, like he found his rhythm in that offensive, on that front line. But defensively, they were bad, man.
Yeah, and then Real Madrid dog walked them. Salzburg versus Al Hilal. That was pretty balanced. Al Hilal actually had a shot at winning it, but they just couldn't convert. They were peppering them in chances and shots. They just needed to convert so they could, move on. But still, all to play for. Salzburg's got to play Real Madrid. Al Hilal's got to play Pachuca for the third game. Manchester City played against Al Ain, our good friends that we dropped 5. They did one better. They dropped 6 on them. No surprise. That kind of goes to show that we have a Canadian Dave in yellow hue in the background.
Lighting's great. Yeah. Lighting's great, guys.
You saved the Juve game for you, by
the
the way. He's got that little portable, it's like a dildo microphone.
Yeah, my little dill.
Yeah, little dill. So Man City versus Al Ain.
Hey, Dash, stop for a second, man. Ask how our friend is, man.
Yeah, just keep on rolling with it.
All right, fine. Hey, Dave, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, thanks. How you guys? It's been a couple weeks.
You, Dave.
Fuck you guys. I mean, perfect timing. You're at Man City. Did you mention that was their B team plus maybe a couple dudes?
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, they rotated all 11 guys.
Oh yeah,
6-0.
Even Holland?
Yeah, all 11 guys got rotated. Holland was.
Equivalent?
Who's worse? Who's the worst striker in the world?
Dusan.
Overpaid striker. Worst overpaid striker.
Dusan. No diff. No distinguishing, no diff. Dusan.
I don't see the difference.
Yeah, fair enough, but I still think Dusan's absolutely useless. But yeah, because we said that last week. And we even said it on the actual Juve Essentials show.
And by the way, I'm sorry, but even like this Manchester City B lineup is a pretty good team, man.
Bob scored. Even Bob scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob.
Oscar
Bob. Oscar from Norway. Oscar Bob from Norway.
Well, what happened with our guy Simpson Pusey? He's still playing?
I don't know. He might be.
Oh, he's not even in the squad.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this kind of shows what we were figuring and we suspected, right? Where a lot of people were sunshine and rainbows. IFTV was kind of going off and saying, "Oh man, Juve's back and Juve's fun to watch again." And it's like you realize that we played a team on the equivalent level of Auckland, right? Like that's how good these guys are. They're not that good.
A bit of a better level.
A little bit better.
A bit better.
Yeah.
At least they're full timers.
Yeah, where they play, they are full timers. Yeah.
Fair enough. So again, City outdid us here a little bit there,
dude,
and then
credit to Auckland, man. For them, it's even though they're getting destroyed, for them it's a trip of a lifetime.
Oh, absolutely, they're happy to be there.
Yeah.
All the smaller teams have fun at the tournament. It's just like the snobby big teams that are saying, "Do we actually care about this tournament, dude? The rest of the world does. So shut the fuck up and play."
So again, I don't like that as an excuse that we've already played 50 matches. Like, piss off. Brazilian teams and Argentinian teams have played just as much, if not more.
Auckland, I'm noticing here, minus 16 after 2 matches.
We need them to score a goal against Boca Juniors. That'll be the tournament if they get one.
They'll get a couple red cards, perhaps.
That's what you're banking on.
Yeah.
All right, last game before we start going a little bit off the rails on the transfer rumors. Juve versus Wydad Casablanca. I saw a couple of things here that I thought was interesting. Was holy hell, Juve's back line is absolutely dog shit.
But you wouldn't believe that with what the announcers were saying during that match, how they completely glazed our back line.
Which is insane to me because, again, I look at it where I'm like, if you have competent offensive opposition, they put 4 on you. This team, backline wise, is absolutely atrocious. Like, for example, the goal that they scored with Lorch, Kelly had 45. Kelly could have gone to the concession stands, bought a cheap beer, come back, and then still, like, the amount of time he gave. No, I mean Amrabat. Amrabat could have gone, got a hot dog and some popcorn, and then came back and delivered the pass that he did. And I had some guy in Discord tell me, oh, yeah, I think Lloyd Kelly just needs time to settle. No, Lloyd Kelly's absolute dog shit.
How
by
much
the way,
time does he need?
he had 6 months to settle, so
Yeah.
6 months to settle, and he still hasn't settled. The only thing he's
and
settled.
he played game in, game out. It's not like we gave him free time or benched him. Like, he played a bunch.
What happened to Rugani? Like, what is Goofdor doing if he is saving Rugani for Man City?
Dash, the club doesn't want him. It's evident. They just don't want him here anymore.
But why? But why?
There's no reason to not play him. And if people out there tell me chemistry, dude, what chemistry does this team have?
You mean Savona, Kelly, and Kalulu are your backline of chemistry?
Oh, boy. I mean, these are tough arguments to make right now.
Like that. Yeah. That is, dude, half the time they don't even know where they're at. Like, it's just, there's no understanding of where they're at half the time. And like, Savona is slow as hell. You know how many times I saw Savona get beat on a 1v1 just because he was slow? Like, you have Di Gregorio having to play 25, 30 meters away from net just to cover Savona's slow ass.
He did play a lot out of the net that game.
And again, like I said, Casablanca was physical. They were manhandling Conceição. Conceição plays against a physical team. He's effectively useless.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they have been saying, right?
I'm a little bit disappointed with how much he was diving.
Dude, he does that all the time. Why are you now disappointed?
No, I know, but I'm just like, really, dude? At this point, it's like, this is like your 6th time. Move on.
Now, the problem is now he did that on the world stage because nobody cares about when we play, I don't know, Genoa or whatever in Serie A, and he dives there. But the German commentator on the zone even said, dude, he's a brilliant footballer. And his dribbling skills for his size and everything he does is incredible, but sometimes like it actually gets on my nerves. The commentator said that gets on my nerves to watch him dive.
Yeah, because there was one where he like barely touched and he like flew up in the air and was grabbing.
But he's doing that and then rolling like 18 times. But goddamn.
Yeah, I was just wow. And then Alberto Costa looked mediocre this game. I didn't see anything crazy out of him. McKennie was atrocious.
But that is what it is, right? Like Alberto Costa, average player, like should be usually, or in a normal Juventus team should be a backup.
Yeah, McKennie was atrocious. McKennie almost essentially turned the ball over in the first 5 minutes. That nearly gave them their first goal. If Obeng knew how to shoot the ball properly or passed it, that's easily 1-0 within the 4th minute.
Well, I mean, the change was made there pretty, at the half. Yeah, so he had a bad game. He's allowed to have one of those once in a while, I think. But yeah, for sure, he was just.
The problem is he had a couple of those like in the last weeks and months.
Yeah, it's been like that, but what else? Yildiz, I think Yildiz was again the bright spot of this whole game. Again, the first goal yes, it was an own goal, but like the first thing, the action was pretty decent.
By the way,
Was-
that shouldn't be an own goal.
Yeah, that was
Like, I mean,
ridiculous.
it was barely like touched like with
Yeah.
a toe. Like usually an own goal is one you properly like divert into the goal. That was just a small tap. I don't think that should be an own goal.
Yeah, that's
And
And
crazy.
then all of a sudden, in addition to the brace he scored, a hat trick on the stat sheet would have meant raise in value, right? Or rise in value.
Yeah, and then we could sell him for 100 million. No,
Honestly, that's what I'm hoping for.
fair enough.
I'm sorry because
You-
everybody wants to keep the Starboy, but if he balls out here and gets something, I don't know, like his value rises something between 75 and 100 million.
You're gonna
Goodbye,
sell
honey.
You're gonna sell the next Del Piero. That's gonna break hearts. Colo, I think Colo had kind of a quiet game.
But
Facilitated.
he's also, man, like such an up and
Streaky.
down striker. Like at least he doesn't cost us 20 mil per year.
Here's the thing, though. Like, at least against a team like Badad in this case, you have enough people that can put the ball in net. In this case, I mean, it was a penalty for Vlahovic again, and essentially 3 strikes from Yildiz. The space was opened up for Yildiz. He was able to make his magic happen. You had enough options, and they had a weak enough defense that there was enough space for something to come through, and Yildiz was the one doing it that game.
Yeah,
That's why I'm intrigued now for that Manchester City match, because Man City will treat this tournament like a must-win tournament. They haven't won a trophy, and Pep wants to win every single trophy he can.
Yeah.
And if he does, like the money they get, the exposure they get, they will get even more attractive, even though they bought for almost 150 million already this transfer window. So the Manchester City is going for it. So that will be an actual like competitive game, and interesting to see where we are when we play an actual team
game.
again. Yeah.
I'm so this is one of the comments where, and again, this is one of the reasons why I cannot stand Tudor is substitutions. You need to raise Douglas Luis's value for offers. Why are you not playing him?
Should play him. Yeah.
He should play because again,
play him
these
in
are
a role where he can excel or show at least what he's good at.
because if you're starting McKennie because he's American instead of Douglas Luis, there's a reason why I call you Goofdor. And also your bosses are a bunch of nincompoops and idiots. Because again, you're prioritizing marketing and advertisement and shenanigans and hooligans versus properly team building.
He's getting back in FIFA's good books, though. Maybe he's just avoiding more penalties.
I don't know. But even then, McKennie has a yellow card. So if McKennie were to get a yellow card, he would have been suspended against Man City. But this is where I look at it. And it's like, again, you need players to find some form. Like, for example, I would have started Douglas Luis. I could have potentially started Coop Myers over Conceição just because Coop Myers is physically bigger than Conceição and you're playing against a physical team. It's, again, you bring in Coop in the 46th minute as a substitute to McKennie, which makes no sense to me there. It doesn't. And then you bring in Locatelli for Conceição. So then you decide to move Coop Myers up front instead of like what is the logic behind these substitutions? Because it's like, why are you doing a double pivot with Thuram and Coop Myers, where Coop Myers effectively has shown, and it is not a defensive pivot? Because again, Diego or Alberto Costa's game lacked as well, because that's not a good synergy, not a good connection that you want to do there tactically. And then in the 72nd minute, you bring in Nico Gonzalez as a right fullback. And then you bring in Gatti in the 84th minute, which again, you could bring in Rugani, which would have made more sense if you're going to do that role. I don't know Tudor's substitution logic or anything like that. And even like, for example, the offensive patterns of play, it's all predominant on just hoofing it out to the wingers, and if the wingers are able to do a quick 1-2, they move. There's still no structure in the offense, and because one of the reasons why we scored these goals was we were committing way too many numbers forward, and then you get caught on the break and you get exposed in the back. And you do that against a Lecce, you do that against an Empoli, they will put 1 or 2 on you. You do that against a better team, they are hanging you out to dry. Call me sour, but I'm looking at this objectively, and this team's back line is absolutely atrocious. The fact that and folks, oh great, Bremer's coming back. Okay, great. How long is it going to take Bremer to come up into game speed? Chiesa never came back from his ACL tear.
I think there's a big maturity difference, though. Between
there is a big maturity difference, but also, again, I'm just saying you got to account for how long it'll take for him to get to game speed.
It will take a bit. He's not. Well, they even said a couple months ago he's not here for the CWC. So, yeah, it's gonna at least be. Would be lucky if he plays that Dortmund match in August, essentially, which I don't think he will.
Which, again, I don't think they will. I think they'll probably the only time you'll see him start playing is the first week of Serie A.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to play him against the Serie D team that they play, the Pilar Villar or whatever the hell.
That maybe for something like that.
That one there. But I look, and again, I just don't like Tudor, man. I just can't get behind him. Like, that's
you kind of have to go for the ride, though, don't you?
I know it's a terrible ride, but I don't know. Tactically, he makes no sense. Again, he's still not fixing the back line. For me, if he gets blown out by City, then that just confirms everything that we've kind of speculated. I think, again, if he is coaching a team that's above his quality, he panics and he has no idea what to do.
Well, we knew this was the test, though, didn't we? Right? And it was a good setup. A couple of easy games, get your feet underneath you, work on whatever our tactics may be. And okay, now here's a real team. Doesn't really mean a whole lot other than who your opponent's going to be in the next round. Like, we've qualified, we've made that extra bit of money. We can make a bit more, but in the grand scheme of things, this is honestly just the test. You got to look at it as the test, not as another preseason game or a friendly, whatever you might label this. We need this as a yardstick going forward.
Yeah. Because
we beat them under Motta a few months back. So why the hell not now? Let's see what we got.
And that's a fair argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it is. And this is where, again, I don't want to hear Tudor hasn't had his time to implement this or implement that and blah, 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 this. It's like, dude, he's been there since the Genoa.
Yeah, he's had time. He's essentially had the last part of the season as an off season for the club.
He had since
March. What that was.
He started mid-March, so he had enough time to build something.
Same players. No injuries.
Yeah, you'd want to see something a little more solid in terms of the tactical department, right? And changes, like you mentioned.
And again, my argument is again, yes, we won by 4-1, 5-0. Those scorelines do not tell you the whole story. If those teams are able to cut through your back line and create chances,
or just finish,
both of them did.
Yeah, they just couldn't finish. They did not have the quality to put the ball in the back of the net, other than that one.
Yeah,
but that's it. We were essentially punished. If it was, even like a Lecce.
I will throw teams in this tournament. If you play against Botafogo and Flamengo, they put goals on you.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Flamengo and Botafogo will put goals on you. Savona's going to stop. I was going to say Botafogo or Savona's going to stop a Botafogo striker. He eats Savona for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, those guys are rough, man. They're going to be rattled if they play any of those South American teams.
And that's where it is. Like, again, I don't know. I saw, again, what I saw out of this Casablanca game is Juve will struggle against physical teams. Outside of Thuram himself, everyone else on that field will struggle against physically stronger players.
Yeah. No, it's
I'm
true. We
glad
have- we have
I'm glad that Yildiz got these goals, but like for example, the second one's a cracker. That's hard to replicate consistently. The first one again, that was a great tactical breakdown. Second one again was a decent tactical breakdown. And Dusan scoring a penalty, like what else? The sky is fucking blue because he can't fucking do anything else anyways. Mind you, folks, you're paying $22 million a season for a guy to just shoot penalties all day.
Yeah, we all know the situation with him now, right? Like he's not renewing the contract. Nobody wants to pay him. He's not going anywhere. He's got a
Bench
year
him.
left on his contract. Yeah,
Bench
I mean,
him.
you kind of have to, don't you?
Freeze him out. Give him the Icardi treatment. Bench him.
I mean, sure, if you need to play him through injuries, I guess you have him. But
Sure. I think I want to give the credit to whoever did it. I think it was 10 Toes Down. I think it was Suave. If you were to remove Dusan, he kind of brought this theory up where he's like, if you sell Dusan and you bring in Immobile and then you have a younger striker, he said that would effectively fix your striker issue.
Mhm.
Which I totally agree with.
It does. Why not? Then you have
Yeah,
an experienced guy. Then you can throw in there. But we don't do those deals. That's the
No.
problem. We are not
stupid.
looking into those markets, into the more experienced and aging players that saw
We're
everything.
looking for
We're just not doing that. Usually, you would have, or what you want to have is a striker lineup of an experienced guy that you can throw in there, or at least one that is in his prime or late prime, and then a young guy that whenever something happens, you can throw in as well.
Coppa Italia, or again a throwaway match, a rotational match.
Yeah, I mean, for example, what Manchester City had last season before they sold Alvarez, right? Like you have a Haaland as your bomber, like up front, and it helps you in most matches. But if you need a striker that, for example, is good at linking up play, because that's what they sometimes needed to break down low blocks, then they put Alvarez into the match and used him as a binding piece in between De Bruyne and the wingers and created that way. Like you need to have strikers with multiple styles, and dude, Immobile at the front, being there sitting and just scoring them, why not? That helps you. And by the way, I think Immobile's playmaking is underrated as well. Like he
It's more than what we have. It's more than what we have.
He was decent at it, yeah.
Listen, it's just the classic setup. Young guy in his prime, old guy.
Yeah.
He played for him and Gufdor played together. He played with Gufdor for Gufdor at Lazio.
I mean, he obviously knows the Italian system.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I mean, you need something like that to fill in your lines. Look at what Milan did with all their old motherfuckers they brought back there a few years ago with Ibrahimovic and then Frenchman
Giroud,
Claude Giroud. Yes, of course. I mean, I loved how they did that. It was classic.
I mean, Fiorentina's doing that right now with Dzeko. Pioli's going over there and he's bringing Dzeko with him.
Yep.
So Dzeko and Keane. Huh, interesting.
Was it weird seeing Amrabat again?
I've always wanted him. I was always a fan of him. Now it's too late, but
yeah, of course, it was.
I thought he was a great regista.
Again, one of those that went to Manchester United when he had his big hype, like after the last World Cup. Went to Manchester United and completely killed his career, and I believe went to loan where? I forgot where.
I don't know. I have no idea.
He was on loan something, and I believe signed as a free agent again for Vidat, right?
You know, and the thing about it was I wanted him before that World Cup. I was like, I remember that. I was like,
well, when his value was technically
like
the lowest.
15, like 20 million. I was like, hey, get Amrabat. He's a great deep lying passer. That's someone we need. We got Locatelli.
And then Morocco had that incredible run in the World Cup where they beat Portugal, I believe, in the
Ronaldo in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that was a crazy match, and I'm sorry, but I rooted like so much against Portugal in that match just to see that, like how far they went. Yeah.
Fernando Santos fucked that World Cup so goddamn hard.
Yeah, dude, but Portugal never had like the actual good coaches. They were always like so underwhelming on the coaching side.
If they got Jose Mourinho, they might get one.
I don't think Mourinho suits with the current players they have.
No, he would probably fire half of them, but
Who would be actually good? But now that he is the coach at Manchester United and destroying his legacy there, I think Ruben Amorim would have been a very good coach for the
I could see that.
for the national team, because he could have made use of that
Are we?
front line.
Are we mixing up the Amrabat brothers? I didn't think we were.
Is it the different ones? No,
Well, wasn't it Sofia Amrabat that went there?
Oh, it is. It's
Yeah.
the wrong. We're talking about the wrong Amrabat.
No.
Oh, I swear I thought Sufyan.
Holy hell! They look identical, man. I apologize.
No, they do look pretty. They do look pretty similar.
That is my mistake.
Hey, sorry, Chad. I swear.
Holy!
I swear I thought the same.
Because like when I was watching them, they literally look the same exact.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference, but they're similar. Yeah, no, I mean, side by side, you can tell.
Sufyan plays at Fenerbahce. Gotcha. Okay.
No,
all right, there we go. Well, hey, there we go.
Sorry.
Hey, they had the same low beard, blonde hair. Holy hell, damn. Hey, I mean, this one
was just feisty. They're both the same like feistiness too.
Yeah. Well, hey, fuck it. I mean, he's still that pass he gave for the goal. I wish we had that as a regista. I'd take this guy.
Should we just because it's not a Juve show, just go quickly through the couple of Juve comments we have and then go to greener pastures?
Yeah, we can. Greener pastures. More entertaining pastures.
So the first one we have, Bangula for 8 million is horrible. Yeah, bad.
It is, but
I didn't even see this today. I mean,
well, apparently Nottingham
it
Forest
was by Fabrizio. Nottingham Forest wants Weah and Bangula for a total 20 million package.
Yeah, that's what they offered. That doesn't mean that's what's happening.
I believe they've accepted it. I heard you. I read it. I just read it. Right? It's just I don't know how true it is, but they said it was a 22 million package. Timmy Weah is 15 and Bangula is 8. Which again, I will blame Goofdor for that because Goofdor should have featured him more because then you could get more value for it.
Yeah. Can you imagine Bangula in one of these games like breaking down those?
It would have been perfect for him to play.
Those teams
it would have.
But
yeah,
I'm telling you.
I guess we're not interested in building value for our players. So.
It's funny.
8 million for him is bad. From Bangula, ideally
that is terrible.
Would have wanted 15 to 20. And then Weah, maybe
you want to know why? He's
underperformed.
not English. If he was English, he would get the Sam Illing money.
Yeah, maybe. But Weah's American, and how does he only give us like 12
15?
million?
15 is not bad.
Yeah.
For Timmy? It's not bad.
You paid 12 for him.
Yeah.
I know. For us, it's a decent deal, but then he's an American, so there should be American tax as well. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you sent him to the MLS.
Yeah.
Not Knott's Forest.
He would open it up in the MLS. He would tear apart that defense.
Yeah. At this point, like you're saying, I would rather just loan him and then sell him.
Well, if Kamoli legitimately sells him for 8 million, then I think Kamoli's an absolute idiot. Because that is literally the same shit that Gentili is doing.
Yeah. All right. So
I mean, we'll see.
No new news on Balerdi so far. I believe like a week ago or something, I believe Di Marzio posted that he rejected Juve's offer, if I'm correct. But I don't know if there was something new, but that would be a player I like. Maybe Maple Dave would be angry because another Argentinian.
But have they worked out?
He's a good defender.
I do have kind of breaking news. So Di Marzio is saying that the package is 22 million, Timmy Weah 14, Bangula being 8. They have accepted and have reached an agreement with Nottingham. Now it's up to the players.
Not a good deal, but
Really?
that is what it is.
I
hate
again,
that.
I think Kamoli's an idiot if that
No.
goes through. I'm sorry, I think he is.
I refuse to believe this.
Kamoli is legitimately Gentili 2.0 with that one.
God, no.
Why would you like? You're that desperate for a capital gain on Mbangula that you sell him for 8?
Yeah.
I would have just
Yeah.
loaned him at that point.
Yeah.
And then, like, for example, okay, Timmy Weah, sure, like 14 instead of the 12 that you bought him for, fine, fuck it, right? Whatever.
It's a profit. And
yeah.
like 2 seasons are amortized already, so we even make a profit of 4 something million. 4, 5
That's
million.
good business for how much Malta stuffed him in a closet.
Yeah. But in Bangula, I don't understand that one. He should be at least double the digits.
They must not rate him at all. Like he hasn't had a whole lot ever since Tudor came. Like he disappeared on us, and he was having a pretty decent season.
Yeah, again, goof door at his finest. Because, like, for example, this deal should have been 15 for Mbangula and 15 for Weah. That would have been perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, Mbangula gets like 3 goals, and then Juve fans have a spaz attack on Twitter saying, "We should have sold him for 50 million because look at that."
Was unironically Sule the best sell we made like in the past? Because Sule was
Roughly
what
about
was
30.
he?
Roughly around 30.
Or 28 something, I believe,
Yeah.
right? Crazy that was the best year, and we said we want more for Sule.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean specifically you, but watching all the content from all the English content creators, the ones that are on the big 6, the club, all of those, and then the clubs that have their own like content creators that are working for. Yeah, you know how they speak about Syria, but I don't mean you specifically, of course. Yeah.
No, go enjoy their crisps for all I care.
Yeah, we went over that one. Yeah, Rugani over Lloyd Kelly. I wish, but no. And then yeah, we are already on the Amrabat guys. So yeah, that's the Juve stuff done. If you guys don't have anything to add.
Nope.
Nope. Let's move on.
If we do, it would be on Wednesday.
Yep. Wednesday, Thursday. We have to pick like an actual date consistently.
Well, the only time you have me is on Wednesday because I'm driving on Thursday morning to
Austria.
Or hold on. Before we actually transition out, I kind of want to. So Dan Colismo, the YouTube highlights guy that's good at making music videos and not actual takes, just made.
It's always the same music though.
It is the same music.
Yeah.
Wow, so creative.
Go on.
So he tweeted saying Forrest signed Elliot Anderson for 41 million last summer, by the way, and we're giving him 2 players with UCL experience for half the price. You know that the players don't really offer much when you say UCL experience as your justifying argument.
It doesn't mean
In a
anything. There
sense.
are FC Basel players, Shakhtar Donetsk players. Sorry, I took actual like decent clubs. Do you remember when Ludogorets Rasgrad played in the Champions League like a couple of years ago? Like, who do you remember of that team? Like, just because a player plays Champions League, like, doesn't mean anything. Dude, Illing Jr. scored for Bologna in the Champions League, and nobody even cares about Illing Jr. anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, people still surprised that he plays. So I looked up Elliot Anderson, and Elliot Anderson's value is 32 million.
Mm-hmm.
And if I look at his stats, he is a central midfielder. Still plays in the English under 21s, which is a little bit interesting here. So he played in the Premier League last season. He had 2.
Yes, good.
Yeah, he had so last season 2 goals, 6 assists. As a 21-year-old.
He is very good.
So it's like he's a central midfielder.
Yeah, it does make. Look, our midfield is full already. Like, besides a 10, I don't want another midfielder.
No, I understand.
Unless we sell.
I'm arguing the price here. That again, he was playing at Newcastle,
Yeah, tax.
and then he went to Forest for 40. And you're trying to sit there and say, "Oh, UCL experience." You realize that Weah and Mbangula barely start, right?
Yeah.
Where this guy is again 37 matches.
Yep.
4 in the FA Cup, 1 in the EFL Cup. 42 games played. I believe 3,100 minutes.
Dan is a hype guy though. So he's
stick to making music videos instead of takes, Colismo. Like seriously.
That's Twitter. Anybody has an opinion on that, correct?
I understand that. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have an opinion. I'm just saying your opinion sucks.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Let it be known.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not attacking him as a person. I'm just saying his take is terrible. Like other takes he's made.
Should we get into actual good teams?
Yeah, let's move on. I thought it was funny.
I'm
just saying. I thought it was funny. Oh man, UCL experience, like that's worth fucking 40 million. I want to sign Timmy Weah because he has UCL experience.
Yeah, sure. I mean, put it on the resume. All right, Dave.
All right,
move us on.
Something actual juicy. Good teams.
Juicy.
I have the Liverpool lineup drawn up here.
Okay.
And because that is a team I wanted, honestly, to make a standalone video on it, like a 10-minute like technical video or something, but I didn't find the time, so I thought I would squeeze a little bit of content into the stream about them, because I'm intrigued with what Liverpool wants to do, because they're already Premier League champions with signing only Chiesa for 12 million. And Mamadashvili last summer, who was still on loan at Valencia for an additional season. So those were the only players they bought. And now they spent something around 100 million fixed fee with bonuses up to 150 million for Florian Wirtz. I believe 35 million euro Jeremy Frimpong, by the way, which is an incredible deal. But release cost 35 million. And Milos Kerkez, do you remember when there were rumors that Juventus will sign him like a couple of years ago? He went for, I believe, 40 million euro. And it got already the here we go, but they have made it official yet, but it's almost done. So I thought it will be fun to go a bit into their lineup, to what I think will be the starters. So this would be kind of the lineup. And maybe then I would like Dash's expertise on it.
Where did he put Chiesa?
I put Oh, you want him here? Should I take Salah off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. No.
No, put it back.
Goodbye. So, center backs nailed on. Frimpong becomes the starter in my opinion, even though Conor Bradley proved himself to be a good Premier League player. I think Jeremy Frimpong will be the starter on the right side. And Kerkez, hands down, will be the starting left back because Tsimikas is just perennial backup. And Robertson is older now, 31, I believe. Tsimikas is 29 or 30 now. And Robertson has, I believe, he left on the contract, and there are talks of him going to Atletico. So I will keep him there for now until we actually know. Yeah, midfield, Gravenberch and McAllister, those are nailed on because they were Liverpool's two best midfielders. And then what I am intrigued by, will Wirtz take Szoboszlai's 10 role here? Because Szoboszlai was essential to hold here a bit of a deeper role behind Salah, because Salah was so focused offensively. And he had an agreement with Arne Slot. Hey, keep my back clean and I will give you the goals. And he gave them like for 45 something GA in total.
Mm-hmm.
45, 50, which was absolutely crazy. And Soboslai took the defensive responsibility behind him. What you can't do with Wirtz, because you will cut off a
can't do
lot
that
of
with
his
Wirtz.
of his game. I don't think he will play that role.
I don't,
in
to be
behind
honest,
Salah.
to be honest with you, and I think we could probably do this as a solo video just to kind of go into it a little bit deeper. But I personally don't think Wirtz is a good transfer for him.
I still think it's a perfect one.
You
But
still think so?
Oh yeah.
Unless he plays, to be honest with you, the only thing where it would possibly make sense for me is you keep Sobozai where he is, and then you switch Nunez with Wirtz as like a false nine.
So you would do it this way, basically.
Yes, that's what I would think of. Is you would put Wirtz as a false
Yeah.
nine with Sobozai, because Sobozai is still going to give you the defensive coverage for Salah.
Yeah.
But Wirtz is, in my opinion, a lot better than Darwin Nunez, and he can give you a little bit more. Is he, your typical number 9 build? No, but I still think Wirtz starting over Darwin would make more sense from a tactical perspective, because he could link up with Diaz and Salah a lot better.
Yeah. Look, I think Darwin will be going anyway, so I had him there as a placeholder for now. But because they are about to sell him anyways, there's interest from Napoli again, and from the Saudi league. So I think Nunes will go anyways.
Makes sense.
But let me put him again there, like as a placeholder. What I think, they will alternate depending on the opponents they play, and of course the fitness levels. I think sometimes we will see Wirtz here instead of Szoboszlai. And then you have this midfield, and then Wirtz can connect virtually everywhere. But what Wirtz likes to do is occupy this left half space, because that's what he has been doing at Leverkusen and in the national team as well. And then just imagine Chiesa right now is Musiala, and then they occupy these two roles, right? Wirtz left half space, Musiala right half space. So what I think is that Wirtz, when he starts as a 10, will be kind of there. McAllister will fill that. Salah will go centrally. And Frimpong likes those runs to the touchline.
The problem
because
is,
what? Yeah.
So go ahead, finish your thought, because I already see a hole with it.
Okay. Is it the right side?
Yes.
Okay. I will get to that in a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, because when you take Sobosai's defensive work rate, that just leaves a huge gap, which I don't.
Yeah.
You can't strategically have Salah run back and forth for 50 matches.
Yeah. Look, but what I think will happen,
doesn't Chiesa play as a right back though?
He plays as my left sack.
Look, what Arne Slot likes to do, and what Xabi Alonso did as well, is like in similar in philosophy, because what both have done is trying to overload one of the sides here, like create something like this, like Wirtz in the half space, Diaz as the winger that cuts in because he's inverted and can shoot with his right foot. McAllister is about there, and Kerkers will be somewhere ish there, or then you have something like this and overload like that side, yeah. And then you have Salah in that half space, and Frimpong always under Xabi Alonso was receiving the crosses from there, or long passes, or very, very quick, like very quick short passes that arrive quickly right there at Salah and Frimpong. And then you create that overloads and those overloads, and have Salah isolated right here in the half space without Salah needing to do those dribbles, because Frimpong is doing that for him already. Because Trent wasn't doing those runs.
No.
Like Trent was stopping there or inverting into the midfield and taking shots from there and trying to connect the places. But I think Frimpong actually will open up a lot more for Salah. Like offensively, I think it will be even more deadly.
He's way more dynamic. I heavily think that, again, Frimpong is way more dynamic than Trent, and I've always kind of had this suspicion that Trent is kind of a hindrance than a benefit for Real Madrid. So I don't really see Liverpool taking a step back with Trent leaving.
I do
Probably
think
not
as well.
think they
he
did
was
all right.
he was a defensive liability for them, and he in the last season he didn't give them as much of his passing output as he has in the past as well, because Arne's slot in his tactic wasn't as much depending on it, because he had already a bunch of creation from the midfield, and honestly a lot of times just passed the ball to Salah and let him cook, and it worked. So Trent didn't have a lot to do, or didn't carry as much of an offensive burden as he had under Klopp.
Yeah.
So I think they can, they are more than able to cope with that. But I think like Frimpong completely opens up another dimension for Salah on that side, and Wirtz is like such a prolific like player in that half space. He can shoot, he can pass, he can connect everything in between there. Like Wirtz will be incredible and unlock a lot more. And what else you can do is, hold up, I will put these guys here right back. Sometimes you have Wirtz there and put Soboslai back into it, and have Kerkers doing those overlapping runs, and have Wirtz a bit more there, and then you have McAllister and these guys cleaning up for them, So you will have, in any case, depending on whether Wirtz plays left half space, where then Kerkers does the overlapping runs, or you play him as an actual 10, and have then Salah doing that, and Frimpong doing the overlapping runs. Like, it depends on the lineup, which one of the center backs will switch a bit more to one of those sides. And I think Gravenberch will be essential for that, because he is the guy that will almost clean up whatever side will be the open one. So that my solution to it is Gravenberch, like covering then that space up that usually was done by Soboslai.
Yeah.
It's a pretty potent team, any way you look at it.
It will be offensively. It will be incredible. I'm excited to see how they do it now defensively, because Soboslai was actually like important in their defensive in their defensive line, basically holding Salah's back clean, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have Soboslai, are they going to swap minutes? Like, I'm just, you got two like really good guys in that same position that obviously do it differently, but
yeah,
it depends. I think it's if it's a more open game, I think they'll play Wirtz. If it's a more tactical, where you're up against equal to, or if not better opposition, I think you play Soboslai.
Honestly, I think Wirtz will be a perennial starter. It will just alternate in between Wirtz being a 10 or playing a left winger. I think Wirtz is hands down the starter. You don't buy a guy for 150 million and play him just 30 games.
Yeah,
like
that's
the goal will be to play him, like including all the other competitions, like minimum 45 games.
I still think probably, if anything, the best position for him is the false 9.
Yeah, depending on who they will get, because like Liverpool is still like up there in the market for an actual striker. Like there are rumors of them still spending 100 million on a striker alone, and then they need another backup defender as well, because they sold Gerald Kwanzaa, who was their backup basically, because Joe Gomez was injured. All last season basically. So they need like still minimum 2 players, in my opinion. And it depends on if you want to go with Wataru Endo, who hands down is a very good like destroyer in the midfield, whether you want to go into the season with him as the backup for Gravenberch. But I guess he did the job for 2 seasons. You can get away with another one of it if you fill up the other positions. So it depends, but Liverpool will be, I think, even more deadly offensively next season than they already have been.
Yeah, and I think adding Wirtz is a proper tactical change to keep them from getting figured out.
You can do so much with him. Like he literally played everything. He once played holding midfielder as well before Xabi Alonso was there. Like, he is very versatile, and he presses. He is a very heavy presser. Like, he is almost like he presses like before the striker in front of him. Like he's the first pressing line, and that will help them a lot, like in winning the ball back early and hitting the opponent quick. Like that as well. Not only the offensive build-up in itself from back to front, but with how Wirtz will help them win the ball back early. Like it will open another dimension to their game, in my opinion. And Liverpool was always a good counter-attacking team, like very quick, decisive passes, and boom, they were up at the front. Like how many goals do they score from opponent corner kicks, for example? Like they are so quick in their build-up, and with Wirtz, I think it will only
Well, he's
help
going to
them even more.
facilitate it, and again, that's why I kind of have that argument where I think it's better for him to be the false nine because he can dictate where the ball goes. I don't see, like, unless Liverpool were to get a big strong striker to play the 9.
I think
Like
they will.
Osimhen apparently needs a buyer.
No, they're
really?
not. There are not heavy
Nothing.
rumors about Osimhen. There are
But, like-
talks about them and Alexander Isak, for example.
Okay,
Then
he's
that would make sense. Yeah.
Alexander Isak was one of the rumors, but that is almost a 150 million deal in itself, because like a transfer within the Premier League, Newcastle giving up their best striker since Alan Shearer, basically. Like that will be a minimum like 150 million, like in euros transfer.
I heard they're getting rid of
That's
Lavish for 25.
They could buy the.
Dude, they already have then might as well keep Nunez. Like why
Might as
get
well.
Vlahovic?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. And there have been talks, but they are kind of like low key about Julian Alvarez to Liverpool. That would be something nice that will connect that offensive.
Yeah, that would be good actually.
That would be a nice deal.
Well,
Dude,
they got the money this year to do it.
and I am a bit biased because Alvarez is my favorite striker, like in world football.
Okay.
So I am because I don't see oh sorry, I will say it another a different way. I think he's like complete. He's just not the tallest striker, but like his scoring is incredible. His penalties are really good. If you don't think about the one that he touched or
He
didn't
slipped.
touch, we will never find out. But
Mhm.
he's a good penalty taker. He can take free kicks. He's a good passer. He's a good shooter. He can work with his back to the goal. Did I forget something? Like he's literally like the full striker package, and I like that about him. Like he's a Harry Kane, but a bit smaller.
It's a
almost.
shame that, in my opinion, it's a shame that he went to Atletico.
Yeah, unfortunately. Of course, I don't mind because I kind of like Atletico, but yeah, for him, dude, at that Liverpool team, that would unlock again like something else, dude. With the versatility he has, and in that front line, that would be actually incredible.
I'm surprised Pep let him go.
Dude, he wanted to go because he didn't. He
Yeah, wanted
didn't
to be
get
number
the playing time behind Haaland.
Yeah, that never made sense in the first place. I didn't think.
Yeah.
Like Julian Alvarez should be your number one striker. I mean, if you're City and you can have him as a backup to Haaland, sure, I guess. But like, obviously, at a personal level, the player's perspective, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. No, he's an 8 on starting striker in my opinion, and dude, he immediately improved Atletico's front line as well. But they're so inconsistent as well, and he kind of was still like amazing there. Yeah, let's see.
You get to play in your native language, I suppose, right? Like sometimes that means something to a player as well.
Yep. And Alvarez with Griezmann next to him was a good, like he was almost a good fit with whoever was playing next to him. He was even very good when he played next to Sørloth when Griezmann was sitting on the bench. But dude, yeah, Alvarez is an incredible striker, and he makes everybody shine next to him. Sometimes he played together with Haaland as well, and how he was intertwining, receiving the ball from the ringers or from De Bruyne behind him, and then playing it off of Haaland or poaching the goal, a miss from Haaland or whatever. dude, he even like can work on a two-striker lineup. So that would maybe be something interesting, like having Wirtz, for example, like very high up the field, almost second striker, be behind him. That would be something interesting as well. Yeah. But yeah, he would be a great fit for Liverpool as well. And yeah, that is basically my Liverpool topic done.
What I gathered from that is that you like too many different teams and you have too many jerseys on your wall.
Hey, sometimes as a child you fall for stuff, right? Like I have my first love, which is Berlin. My second love is Juve, because that was like the first big like European team I saw Hertha Berlin play. And then yeah, going to the Champions League final 2016 in Milan, where I was like right there in between the Atletico Ultras, I guess didn't help. And yeah, Hertha Berlin has an actual like fan friendship with Liverpool because they were established in the same year. So I saw a couple of friendships, and that's honestly about it.
That's like liking somebody because they're the same age as you.
Is there something wrong with that?
This is like, yeah, how about like at school? There's the cool kids, you like these kids over here, and you fight these kids over here. They're all the same age.
Dave, we do not condone robbing the cradle.
My cradle was robbed. Don't even.
Fair enough.
Okay. No Diddy.
Hey, that is my favorite. What is it? GPDA director, Alexander Wurz. Good old Austrian ex-Formula 1 driver.
What else we got here that we want to break?
Oh, Dave, by the way, I the first 8 minutes I talked with Dash about the F1 movie. You should actually watch it. I watched it earlier today.
How did you already watch it?
He's German.
Is it available in your country?
Yeah. It came out today.
What?
Yeah.
What day? It's the 20. Oh, it comes out in 4 more days over here. What the fuck? Jeez. That's bullshit. I'm probably going to watch it in July. We're going to get the boys together because the movie theater's an hour and a half away from us. So we're going to get the boys together and watch it.
It's a nice watch. I like the movie is nice to watch, but don't expect too much like regarding
like a storyline. Oh, regulations. No, of course.
Regulations and racecraft. Like, don't expect a lot from that. Yeah, storyline is mediocre as well, but it is spectacular to watch. Like that.
It's the videography. When you watch those guys, it's all for the videography. I don't really expect anything else.
Yeah.
And what's cool actually is on the 30th, anyways, with the F1 game, F1 25, is and they had a little demo, like the opening scene when he first shows up to the team, but they'll like show clips of the movie. And when it goes to the part of the race, it puts you into the race and you'll race that part of the movie. So kind of excited to check that out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, F1. That's it. That's the Sunday, this coming week. You're going to it. You're there. You're leaving on Thursday.
I am there, dude. I'm so damn excited.
Oh man, this is nuts. I'm just coming home. You're leaving. Like literally, I get home tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then we do the show Wednesday and you're gone.
I leave on like European time Thursday morning and I arrive Monday evening. So I will technically be available for F1 review in our Eurodive show.
No. Well, we're gonna have firsthand. I'm expecting a lot of videos.
Oh, you will get content.
Oh, I can't wait. I didn't see in a couple weeks.
And one of those tracks that is nice to that you have an actual feeling for when you play the sim games.
Oh yeah, no, I love it.
It is a nice rounded like circuit where you have like free flowing quick corners as well. You have overtaking with a couple of long straights, and that one I forgot which turn it is. Like in numbers where you have the second, you have the start finish straight, the backs, the straight up the hill, and then the back straight, and that goes into that like right hander that is where you can drive multiple lines.
Oh, the track limits line.
Yeah, exactly that one where they shove each other into the gravel all the time.
Yeah,
dude, I love that. And I'm sitting like right there on the last corner to the finish line where they get all the track limits as well. So I will monitor that and make my own list.
Well, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to get back to a bit of F1 myself this weekend. Yeah. I'm excited just to be home and like not having to watch the game mounted to the air vent on my magnetic, watch my little 5-inch screen as I'm driving down the highway.
Yeah.
Oh,
And now I got the taste. I think about going to Spa next year as well.
oh fuck yeah. Oh man, so many things.
Let's-
I gotta first and foremost get World Cup tickets for next year.
Yep.
If they ever actually put them on sale. Like when are they gonna go on sale? It's literally next summer.
No, nobody knows what the FIFA is doing, right? Regarding tickets. They still have to monitor the prices, I guess, see how this tournament goes overall.
I'm waiting. I figured by now.
I was watching this clip. It's like 30 seconds of Dean Huijsen against Pachuca, and everyone's like, "Look at this absolute demonstration of quality." And it's like
But because
passed
he
the
had
ball to an open
two
player.
accurate long balls.
He passed. I saw them. They
Dude
were
with
wide
him-
open.
Dude with
No one was
Huijsen,
pressing him.
I like him, and I still think he will develop into a great center back. Like also like with defensive skill, and I think he will with time build muscle and all of that, and will be really good. But right now, all we talk about him is his long ball ability, like from the own defensive line. And if that's the only thing we are talking about, the defender, yeah. But dude,
That's what
he has all the upside, so let's see.
he does. Don't get me wrong, but like I just find it ironic where like, look, okay, great. 30 minutes to fucking play that pass, by the way. All day, look who's pressing him. And then you loft it. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
I like again, with all due respect, people, I can make that pass. And then it's like we look at this one again here. He's again, nobody's pressing him, mind you.
But to his defense dash, he was doing that at Bournemouth as well, and there he got pressed like way earlier. So
Why do they have to use the stupid CWC symbol to highlight the dude?
So again,
visuals, Dave, visuals.
Player with pace here. So that's not even a good pass on Huijsen's part because he has to actually fight this guy off the ball. So again, that's Huijsen. Fuck it, he's up there. Let me put the ball there.
But that's what long balls are for the most part.
Now there's some, like for example, the Amrabat ball was a good ball. But again, this one right here, literally a through ball that was behind.
Yeah.
And that is what you're telling me is worth 60 mil? That everyone's losing their minds over?
I agree with that. I just think we should give him the time to develop and not glaze him immediately to be one of the world's best center backs. And that is what's happening online.
Give him
the time to develop into his actual like well-rounded good center back skin. Because that's what he has to do.
Are these still the Juve fans glazing him, or just like everyone?
Oh yeah, still the Juve fans.
Oh no,
okay,
that's
copious.
It's not just Juve fans. No, it's all over the internet.
Okay, because if it's Juve fans, that's just copium.
No, it after he has been sold, it has been the Premier League people as well, because like a couple of the Premier League teams wanted him as well, and he chose Madrid.
Okay,
so
that's why the fuss.
Yeah. And now he's there at the biggest club in the world, and now the eyeballs are on him. So,
yeah,
I actually root for him. I just think the poor kid should be protected a bit more. But yeah, now he's in the Shark Tank, man. So
he is. It's again, he's in the Shark Tank. But again, you're sitting here telling me that that's incredible in 60 million, where you can't defend a damn because, like for example. All of that was the highlights was passes. None of his defensive stuff.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you paid 60 million for a guy that just passes the ball?
Oh, you tell me people of Twitter watch defensive highlights?
No, they don't even know what the fuck that means.
No.
Oh, we're supposed to stop them? Oh shit. I thought that's what the goalie's for. Hell, even not the goalie, because we don't give a shit if goalies can stop balls as long as they can play with them. That's all we care about is ball juggling goalies nowadays.
I love playing with balls. Don't know about you.
Your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's where I'm sitting there, and it's just like, I think it's outrageous. He can play with balls. That's why he's 60 million.
Yeah, and he is 20. I mean, I think the idea is that, okay, yes, he's good.
DeWitt was 20, and we paid 85 for him.
Yeah,
Or he was 19.
it's just overhype. I guess it's a bit overhype, right?
At least
He's good.
Like again, DeWitt was better than him, and look how that panned out.
Yeah, where's DeWitt these days? He's still hanging around?
Manchester United.
Yeah, it's still ruining his career. Okay.
He has one of those?
Oh, I just didn't know if he was deciding to move on.
That is-
rumors this year.
I think that is a very center backs we have that like was it 3-4 weeks ago, something like that. Center backs are like good center backs are really rare. Like actual world class, I believe there's only Van Dijk and in my opinion Gabriel. And that's about it. Like actual world class.
Yeah, Bremer pre-ACL tear.
Yep. Yeah, but him as well. Like he didn't have the perfectly rounded game. Like Bremer, like defensively, certainly one of the best, but he wasn't offensively as involved or as accurate as of course, because Van Dijk can, like, in addition to how incredible he is as a defender in terms of his tackling skills, positioning, and all of that, like he's an incredible passer, long ball accuracy. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I disagree because Bremer had better passing stats than Locatelli. We did a breakdown on that.
Well, what does that? Yeah, doesn't mean anything though, because Van Dijk is head and shoulders above Locatelli. So
I know.
Yeah.
I
No,
found
but-
that funny.
But actual world class, Van Dijk, in my opinion, is
I
the
think if
best center
I-
back right now. Then you have Gabriel, like a smidge behind that. But Gabriel is I believe 5, 6 years younger. So
Yeah, it floors me that the criteria for center back elitism is passing a ball.
Yeah,
but
it's what the
chat,
fans
feel
want.
free to agree or disagree with me. I'm interested in what you guys are saying. There are, in my opinion, Van Dijk and Gabriel couple. If you asked me 2 years ago or even a couple of months ago, I would have said Bastoni. But Bastoni, I don't know whether it was because he's playing next to dog shit and aging players. Dude, Konate would be incredible. And also he got on top of his injury issues, which would mean absolutely nothing for us because he would get injured immediately.
We go back to J Medical.
But Konate next to Bremer would be crazy, and Konate is as well like a well-rounded player, just not on the world-class level of Van Dijk. Like Konate is like the fit that Saliba's to Gabriel. Like they
Yeah.
perfectly fit each other. It's just Konate is a bit older than Saliba.
There's too many Salibas. There's a Saliba on Team Canada now too. It's like how many Salibas? Just like we got confused with
I'm sorry.
Amrabat. What's the other Traore? How many Traores are in the Club World Cup? Because that I know is not the same Traore. I looked it up. The one on was it Alain, I believe? Yeah, not the same Traore. It's like there's no way. There's too many of them. I knew I could get fucked up on that one.
There are so many Traores, Konates.
There was something a few years back about somebody trying to get a citizenship to play in Europe, and he took the name Traore, but it wasn't his real name. He's just like, I guess, decided it was a good name to go with because everyone's called Traore from that part of the world. And then I guess they found out after the fact. I can't. This is years. I don't know, like 8 years ago. I can't remember now. But yeah, Traore. There's another one.
All right. Anything else we want to cover? Because we're at the hour 30 mark. We actually this one.
No, I think I
came
got
here for the
everything off my
vibes.
chest.
Yeah, I came here for the vibes, guys. I mean, I caught maybe 2 games on the road. One more day, guys. I'm back. I am back tomorrow, Wednesday. We go full force.
By the way, because we were talking about the center backs a year or two ago, I would have considered Ruben Dias in that conversation as well. But Ruben Dias had now a bit not as much on the world class level seasons. That's why I don't consider Ruben Dias in that conversation anymore. But if you ask me like a year or two ago, he would be in there. Bastoni would have been in there. Yeah, Gvardiol, honestly, defensively up and down, but he's one of the best talents right now. But that's about it.
Yeah, that's a everlasting question these days. Primo's talking about it here. Like, what is a good center back? So like Vardiol's rated pretty highly, but like you said, defensively he goes up and down. We're rating goalkeepers and center backs just for how they use their feet. And again, I even heard one of the commentators this week. Oh, look how good he is. Yeah, talking about Di Gregorio, about how good he is with his feet. Wow. Can he stop the ball? I mean, he did in that game, thankfully, a couple times, but that's what they're focusing on. There's more to it. It's like we just don't care. And why would we? All we do is go on Twitter, watch a 30-second clip of, like in this case with hoisin sauce, 30 seconds of him passing, nothing of him defending.
Honestly, we had I believe 2 moments in that game yesterday where Di Gregorio's passing actually saved us. I think Di Gregorio's like on the line, above average. Like not one of the greatest like shot stoppers or whatever, but like good enough to do the job.
Oh yeah.
But twice he saved us with his passing because he was able to pass the ball out of the the Al Wydad like press they implemented. Like otherwise we would have like conceded on 2 occasions, but because he is that good on his feet and had that vision to get the ball out like quickly and in the right moment, like he saved our ass on 2 occasions.
You know, all these teams called Al, and they still got shot and scored on by a guy named Bob. That joke of the day. Is that a good one?
On that note, and on that note.
All right, yeah, I guess I'll play some music. Jeez, it's been a while. Let me find it again.
Do you know where to? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know where to hit it?
Got it.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I need to take care of some things so I can watch Inter Miami versus Palermo in the next 20 minutes. We will be back more Juve-centric on Wednesday to do the Juve Essentials and bitch about how Tudor sucks as a coach. And on that note, and we will pregame the Manchester City match. And we shall see the Juve Goobers then.